We are in the great land of Texas. We are at COTA. And so I'm excited. We've got a sprint weekend. Well, we sell the sprint. I'm going to be honest. I sold on the sprint. We ended real bad. I didn't even race it because we were going to end so bad. And so I sold on the sprint races. But we have a amazing race for you guys where the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors gets shaken up a little bit. And do we have a new second place constructors team? All right, so welcome to another episode, and we're just gonna start off by looking at some drivers development here, and our reserve drivers looking good. We'll still have a new reserve driver coming in, and then we really just care about Award here. Award continues to significantly improve, so he improves by 4. His overtaking improves quite significantly, so great job to Pato. And then entering into a new month, we're going to look at our training schedule. All right, so this is what our training schedule is going to look like. I think we're improving quite significantly here on our pit stops. We're going to have a 0.03 improvement on the pit stops. We're going to technically get just a little bit better here, and we're still going to be well rested by the end of the month. So that's what we're going to do here, just so that we can try to continue to improve before Randeep Singh comes in. We have another upgrade on our tour center, so we're going to upgrade it one more time to get to level 5. That's going to bring us just a little bit more money, so that next season we can continue to make upgrades to the car and be able to research all season long. As you guys know, we had to pay for so many parts that we are not able to do that. We're going to have a bad car in the beginning of next season as well, but hopefully by the end of that, when Signs comes, we can start getting into the top 10 and then improving from there. And once again, we are getting fined. We're getting fined. We're starting to spend double the money now. So we've got our cost cap. We've exceeded by basically 1.8 million. And so we also got fined 1.8 million. This is going great. This is going fantastic, guys. It's going fantastic. Don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're not going to get fired. We're going to be fine. We're not going to get fired. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. And then obviously our team marketability and then our weekly income has gone up just because of our tour center being upgraded. Is everybody unhappy? Yes. Everybody but Grosjean. Grosjean's getting kicked out. I guess he's retiring, technically. But Award's unhappy. Beckett's unhappy. Slade. Everybody's unhappy. He should be unhappy because he's leaving. But everybody's unhappy, including our fantastic affiliate drivers. Let's go to our sponsorship plan. We keep missing our sponsorship just because we're not able to make up for the loss that we had in the beginning. But we are a lot more marketable, so we're going to go ahead and just click all of the top ones to try to catch back up here. And then in hopes that we actually catch up. I actually think we will this time. Yes. So we are back in front, and so we'll be able to actually start getting some of the engagement money that we have been missing out on for the rest of the season. So that should help us at least in paying all of our fines that we're going to have, because we're going to have some significant fines. So confirm on our sponsorship plan. So just an update on parts. These are the last parts that Award has, and we have 6 races to go. 6 races, and we have 1 engine. We have an ERS that's bad. We have a gearbox that should last. So the engine, not going to last. Gearbox should last, but everything else will not last on Award. And then on Grosjean, once again, engine already bad. ERS getting there. Gearbox might get there as well. And so we're going to be running bad parts by the time we hit Abu Dhabi. But that's kind of what we expected. We're trying not to spend too much more money because it's going to double in price. Every single thing that we have to buy doubles in price. And so we're cheering for, I'm literally going to sell on sprints and then try to get as much as we can on, I'm probably just going to simulate the sprints because I'm literally just going to try to hang it in the back, put on, I don't want to, I'm going to put it on conservative and just not try to crash, basically. All right, so once again, 18th or better for Award. We've been doing pretty well. I think Award can continue that. There we go. The awards are coming out finally. And then Romain Grosjean, once again, 21st or better, just because he has a really, really bad car. So I want to show you guys, I simulated the sprint. I put on all terrible parts. So I put on really bad engines and just as much brokenness as I could put on to save all of our stuff for the actual races. I put on. So we ended up, Award didn't finish. because he probably ran out of stuff. And then Grosjean moved up 2 spots because Award and Stroll didn't finish the race. And so Grosjean ended up 19th. But we're going to go put our good parts back on, and we're going to qualify for the Grand Prix. We're actually going to race the Grand Prix and really try to maybe get some points out of it the best that we can. Maybe be super aggressive on our race strategy here. But we're going to go ahead and go into queue number 1. All right, here we go. It should be a nice and lovely weekend here in Austin, Texas. When I say here, I mean I don't live in Austin, Texas, but that's where COTA is, and so we're here in Austin. And so we are going to go send them out just like we normally do, just nice confidence lap, and then we'll send them out a little bit later when there's a little bit more rubber down and a little bit grippier of a track so we can take the turns just a little bit quicker. And so we're just going to set out a halfway decent lap here, and then we'll go out one more time and try to set a faster lap. So Ward's going to start off, and he is going to get purple. Look at that, purple, sector 1. Grosjean's not able to take it away, and it looks like Bottas is. And so Award's going to run into just a little bit of dirty air, which might slow him down just a little bit, but he's going to end up with a 134. And then Grosjean, who has the fastest second sector so far, which is quite impressive with how bad his car is, just ends up a little bit slower than Award. So Award needs to improve just a little bit more, in my opinion. Bottas faster than Award, which really shouldn't be happening at this point in the season. All right, there's a lot of mayhem on the track right now, but Award's going to go out for his final lap right now. We are slated to end up in 18th and 19th. Grosjean is out there on his final flyer as well. Oh, he didn't make it to the line, so Grosjean is not going to improve, but Award's going to improve all the way to 11th. I guess Perez took him. So Grosjean starting in the back. That's about where he's probably going to be for the entirety of the race as well. A couple of people have some penalties. Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo have penalties. Logan, Pierre Gasly, and Zhou Guanyu. So it looks like Grosjean might be starting 19th. So Ward on his out lap, on his lap that, his warm-up lap, he locked up. So fantastic. Love to hear that. Now he has zero confidence going into his first lap of the day. So Award is not going to have clean air going into the first kind of S's here. And now he's going to get by both those guys. He's going to set purple lap. He's going to set another purple lap. But Perez and Verstappen, Norris, and Tsunoda are all going to go faster than him. He's going to go a 133.874, which I think is faster than his first. All right, so most people in front of Award are on their flyers, and so Award does need to improve his time. I don't think he had a great lap on the first one, but a couple of people are now crossing the line, and Award looks like he is going to go. Well, he had 13th for a second. Now he's going to drop all the way back up to 15th. I think Danny Rick has a penalty, though, and so he's going to end up behind Daniel Ricciardo is going to end up behind him. Yeah, that's not a good qualification from Award. But we're lacking in confidence right now. Hopefully we can have a good race, end up 18th or better. That's really our goal, is just to try to get money at this point to cover off all the fines that we're going to get. Here's your starting lineup today. It's going to be Piastri and Norris. McLaren is going to lock out the front row because Verstappen has a penalty. I think Charles Leclerc and Ferrari is going to have the second row, and then I think it's going to be an all Red Bull third line. RB, Mercedes, and then you can see the Aston Martin there as well. All right, so here's how we're going to roll today. We're going to go medium, hard, and we're going to go light on the mediums in the middle of the race. Really what we're trying to do is we're trying to save the softs, maybe just like kind of in Baku and in Italy. We had that time where we were able to go soft to the finish because of this. So maybe there's something like that might be able to happen where we get a free pit stop. We can throw on softs at the end, something like that, to improve our positioning. But I'm not sure how all of that's going to go. So that's what we're going to do. All right. And so here at COTA in Austin, Texas, we have 5 red lights, and they are out. And there are some soft runners here. That's kind of surprising to me because softs are not going to last for us. But maybe they'll last for other people, or maybe they'll go for, the classic 3 stop. But I expect Grosjean to get shuffled to the back pretty quickly. And then Award to possibly be competitive enough to maybe retake Magnussen. He's not able to retake Magnussen, and so now we're going to try to stay in front of Ocon here. We have a couple of soft runners going on, and we have some hard runners. We have some soft runners. We'll see what how everything is going to shake out by the end of the race. But we're just trying to finish in front of we're trying to finish 18th or better at this point. Just trying to get money so that we don't go bankrupt and make the board even like madder at us. More mad. I don't know what the technical term is, but let's go ahead and go on board with O'Ward, as it looks like he had a run on Magnussen, but our straight line speed is just not quite good enough to take Magnussen. And so we're going to go and continue around on the first lap with Magnussen, and then DRS will be enabled so that we can possibly take some spots away, maybe get out in front of people. I don't know. We'll see how this race kind of shakes out by the time with our first pit stop. All right, getting into our first DRS straight of the day, and it looks like Hulkenberg is going to try to make the pass on Valtteri Bottas. He's probably going to get it done right on this straight now. And we got a good run on K-Mag, and we've got a great DRS, and so that's really going to help us here. We got a great run on Kevin Magnussen there. We did not get as good of a run on Logan Sargent, but we might try to stick it down in there and make it stick, but we didn't. All right, and so the two Williams cars are going to fight in front of us. O'Ward took Magnussen, and hopefully we can keep up with these guys and try to get a little bit closer on the next straight here. We don't have good close cornering. We don't have good low-speed cornering, so that is not going to help us out in some of these corners here at COTA. But we do have fantastic DRS, so if we're able to hit DRS lines and we're able to get DRS on people, we're going to be very, very dangerous here because they do have some friendly DRS straights. We are not going to get DRS on this one, though. We're going to lose connection from Valtteri Bottas, and we'll see if Magnussen is going to be able to take us. And there goes Magnussen right up our inside. That's actually not a bad thing because Magnussen is going to be able to drag us back towards Bottas and Hulkenberg here. So it's not really that bad of a thing for that to happen. And we're going to keep our battery on so that we can try to keep up with them as well. Burn the fuel as much as we possibly can. Really, really utilize, and we're falling out of DRS of K-Mag. That's not good. That's really not good that we're falling out of DRS and we're losing connection early on to this front pack here. And I can't remember where the timing line is. Oh, it was back. We were definitely a second behind before that DRS timing line, and so now Kevin Magnussen might get DRS off them and might get closer to them, and we're going to lose connection. We might lose connection. So we have officially lost connection with some of these cars, and now Grosjean is going to grab DRS off of Sargent, and as we make the pass on Sargent, so hopefully that's going to help us move back up closer to Albon. While that was happening, Ocon was able to take O'Ward, and now we are trying to track down Ocon, and O'Ward his driver confidence just continues to plummet. Driver confidence continues to plummet. Might not be a great race for us, and maybe in the middle stint we'll be able to make up some time. I don't know. But we really need to get to the timing line and get DRS off of Ocon here. Otherwise, I'm not so sure why we're so bad right now. There we go. Timing line. We're good. And so we're going to get DRS off Ocon. Ocon's not going to get it off of K-Mag quite yet. And so that's going to help us bring us closer to Ocon. But this isn't looking good for us as we're dropping like a stone early on in the race. And I'm really hoping that we're not going to be this bad for the entirety of the race. Catch back up to Ocon to try to get DRS off him. We deployed a little bit out of that turn, and that didn't work out for us. Albon's 2 seconds behind us. Grosjean is now 1.3 seconds behind Albon. That did not work out, so we're going to try to use a little bit more battery down into this turn here. And I don't know what happened to Valtteri Bottas, but Bottas is now very, very slow. And now we're going to try to get by Valtteri, but Valtteri's going to cover us off. That might help. That's going to back us up quite significantly. That's not going to help us. That's going to back us up quite significantly as Daniel Ricciardo is able to get by Romain Grosjean. Not a surprise. Danny Rick's probably going to get close to the top 10 again. But we're going to go and get DRS off of Bottas. We're going to use a little bit of battery to just kind of zoom right by Bottas the best that we can, just so that we're not too significantly far behind people. But there we go. We're going to throw it back on neutral because we're going to need more of that later. And now we're going to get DRS off of Valtteri, and we're going to go right past Valtteri and maybe catch a little bit more up on Ocon here. But we are very much struggling in the beginning of this race, which is a little bit more surprising than I thought. I did not think that was going to happen, to be totally honest with you. I thought that we would be somewhat competitive for up here in 12th and 13th. And so I'm a little disappointed right now in Award. But he has like zero confidence, so that's also playing into this a little bit. And it looks like Sargent has gotten by Grosjean, not as a big surprise. Our goal is to finish in front of Zhou Guanyu, which is very, very, very possible, as Grosjean's going to fight back a little bit here, and that's going to give, I think that's going to give Sargent DRS on this straight. We'll see. Grosjean did not get it, and I think that Sargent did get it, and there goes Sargent. Sargent's going to end up in front of us. Valtteri is going to pull right back up to the rear wing of us, and now we're going to try to pull away from Valtteri. We're going to go ahead and cut the fuel, maybe use some more later. Kind of ride around a little bit and see what happens. Valtteri Bottas is coming up on the rear wing of Award. It looks like he's going to dive down the inside. Valtteri's going to try to take Award. Did he just hit Award? Did he hit Award? So Valtteri Bottas has gotten by Award. Award's going to look down the inside again, and now he's going to have the inside track here in Award. Hopefully he's going to put Valtteri behind him, but Valtteri's going to fight back. Valtteri fighting back, and Valtteri's going to get Award, and we're going to battle through these S's here, and it looks like Award is going to hold off Valtteri for now, but Valtteri at the timing line is going to have DRS off of Award on this longer straight, and we are catching Hulkenberg now that Hulkenberg's out of K-Mag's DRS. Us and Bottas are catching Hulkenberg a little bit. So maybe we can track down Hulkenberg, and it looks like Valtteri's going to now pull to the inside. He's going to try to break a little bit later, but he decided a little bit better of that, and it's going to let Award lead the way back up to Hulkenberg. Oh, so this is why we're falling behind people, is people are pushing the tires quite significantly. So people are going to three-stop. Hulkenberg is pushing his tires quite a lot, and so now we're going to be able to catch up to Hulkenberg, because Hulkenberg is going to run out of tire at the end of this run here, and now Valtteri is out of our DRS, and now he's going to get taken by Daniel Ricciardo, but that's going to help out Award. Award is going to be able to hopefully on the next DRS straight get Hulkenberg, and now we're going to be able to, now that we've played the patient game, we're going to be able to start catching back up and start passing some of these guys that have taken us early, and there goes Daniel Ricciardo on Valtteri Bottas, and now he's going to have his eye on us. So with Grosjean taking Logan, Hulkenberg's going to be the first one into the pits, and we are actually going to get DRS off of Hulkenberg here. Fantastic. We're going to cut the battery back off. Daniel Ricciardo is right behind us. He has DRS on us. He's going to look to the inside of Award, and he is not going to try to take him here. It wasn't worth the dive bomb. And now we're going to go try to catch Kevin Magnussen. Once again, the tire situation here. Daniel Ricciardo has burned through his tires a little bit. He's probably on standard just like us. He's probably trying to get his softs to last as long as he can. And Grosjean now has better tires than everybody else in front of him. And so hopefully Award is able to start catching Ocon and Magnussen because of the better tires we have. And that's exactly what's happening, is that we are 3 seconds behind these guys. And now we're over 3 seconds behind these guys. And now we're closing in on less than 2 seconds. And it looks like Danny Ricciardo is going to try to squeeze in right there. And Danny Rick is going to actually grab that spot from us. And he's going to have DRS on us. And he's going to probably pull away starting about now. And so he's going to pull away from us. And maybe we can follow Daniel Ricciardo and actually catch up to Kevin Magnussen a little bit quicker, because Danny Rick is going to be able to catch Magnussen a little bit quicker. Albon and Sargent, the two Williams, are going to dive into the pits as we're going to grab DRS off of Danny Ricciardo. And there is a yellow flag. Yellow flag. There's a red flag. There's a red flag. So that's not going to work out for Hulkenberg and all of them. It is going to work out for us quite significantly. And so we're probably going to be able to go on reds. And, oh no, this is bad for Carlos. Is he out of the race? That's the question. Did he just get out of the race? And that is going to let some people back in to maybe this could be the beginning for Carlos's like descent out of the championship if he's out for the race. that could be a 25-point swing depending on who wins the race. Wow. This was what we were looking for, though. We were looking for something like this. I know it's going to conflict. We're going to go onto soft tires here. We're going to go on to soft tires. This is going to mess with other people. So right now, Sainz is out. And if people like, if Verstappen can now make his way to first place, if Verstappen can make his way to first place, he is going to have a 25-point jump, which is going to cut the lead to Carlos to about 75-ish. And if Red Bull can finish really well and Leclerc doesn't, that's going to cut into the constructors quite a bit, where they were feeling really good. But if Perez and Verstappen can finish well, that's not going to help the Ferraris out at all, and is going to start tightening up the race. Like I said, I think in the last episode, the way back for other people is if Carlos Sainz starts to crash, and that's exactly what's happened. I'm hoping he wins the championship because I want him to come into our team as a champion. But it would make this the last bit of this first season very, very interesting if he doesn't. Putting our guys on very similar strategies. I'll show it to you guys real quick. So I just created the new strategy. Here it is. So it's going to go soft, medium, hard. And we're going to go hard. We're going to go aggressive on the hards to the finish. So hopefully something like that will work. Once again, Grosjean just needs to finish the race without crashing. And I'll be pretty satisfied with what he was able to do today because he's able to get 21st or better because of Carlos Sainz. But Award, I would love to be able to get take some people with Award. And we've got some hard runners behind us. We've got soft and medium runners in front of us. And so that's really messed up a couple of people's pit stop strategies and stuff like that. As we were able to get a free pit stop, basically. And go on some better tires. Looks like Kevin Magnussen's going to try to burn through his tires early on. And so right here is where DRS line is going to start getting into motion. So DRS is going to be taking hold in this lap. And now hopefully we can start picking our way through the field. I think everybody's still on a 2-stop unless they're going like medium and hards and really trying to make everything last a little bit. But we're going to get a good exit out of there. And we're going to get right past Ocon. We're going to throw it back on neutral for both of our drivers just so that we can start saving a little bit of battery. And I think we're just going to ride around a little bit and see what happens with the tires and where everybody else is at. It looks like Ocon used a little bit of battery. Now his rear wing is going to open up and he's going to go and zip right by Award. But we're going to save battery. We're going to save... we're going to try to save our tire for the end of this stint a little bit as everybody else is going to exhaust those tires. This is a really, really tough track. It's hot. It's abrasive. And so it really chews up your tires pretty quickly here in Coda. And so hopefully... Oh, no. Now Award has a really bad ERS problem. Major ERS problem. We might not make it to the finish with Award now. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please survive the rest of the race. We're just going to keep it on neutral for the rest of the race. I'm afraid to get aggressive with his battery now because I don't know if it's going to last.
He has DRS.
I know DRS. He has DRS behind us. But Ocon is going to keep us behind. And Grosjean is still in 19th, just trailing behind Gasly a little bit. Award still keeping up with the Ocon here. There's a yellow flag. I don't know what has happened. Grosjean hasn't done anything. Someone just probably ran wide. Yep, Magnussen just running a little wide. And so Bottas is now going to be... I think Magnussen was behind us, and now Bottas is behind us. All right, so we're going to look to take Ocon here as we're going to take a bad angle into that corner. We just had no business doing something like that. And so now we're going to grab DRS. We're going to zip right by Ocon. And now we're going to be in front of Ocon, Bottas, and Magnussen. All right, so this isn't good for Award's ERS. We're having a hard time either harvesting or we're having a hard time with keeping charge in the car. So I might have to go to top up and hope that we can get more charge into the car. But that's really going to hurt us. That major fault has really hurt us is that Award can no longer... I guess, harvest, most likely, enough. And so we're going to have to go to top up. We're going to go pretty slow here to try to limp Award across the line. We'll see if we can make it happen here. Meanwhile, with Grosjean, we've saved up a ton of ERS, so his battery's just doing just dandy. And so we're going to start using some of it, try to get by some of these guys. And so we're going to just go right by Pierre Gasly. Our rear wing is going to open up, and now we're going to start tracking down Albon and Hulkenberg here. We're going to leave his DRS on a little bit. We had to let Ocon by. Like I said, we're having such trouble keeping the DRS up. Like he's going to start dropping like a rock here soon. I just can't keep charging in his battery. You get a major fault like this. It's never happened to me. Get a major fault like this, and we just can't keep charge. I just can't keep charging in his battery right now. I feel like a gearbox issue, we'd be able to do something with it, but we're gonna go ahead and Grosjean's gonna get by Hulkenberg. But Award's in serious trouble. Award's in trouble. I don't know how we're gonna cope for the rest of the race with Award. All right, so Award's probably going to be taken on this DRS straight because we just, like I said, he said he's been on 0% for most of that lap. I mean, the DRS of the Kick Sauber's awful. But I think we're going to be lucky to stay in front of some of these guys. I just don't think that we're going to be able to compete with the issues that we've got going on with Award. The only thing that's going to possibly keep us in this race is Award's DRS is great. So our DRS is awesome on Award. Grosjean, obviously, we've got like terrible parts on. That's going to just be the case for the rest of the season. And so I'm surprised that we're able to keep 16th with Grosjean right now. He's able to get an awesome race for him. But yeah, I think that the only way that we're going to stay in this race is his DRS and is keeping up with the guys like Bottas and trying to stay in people's DRS range when they pass us. Because here comes Valtteri again, 0%. 0%. Valtteri's going to pull the inside. He's going to grab DRS off of us, and he's going to go right by us again. Although not very quickly, and so that's going to really help us. Possibly stay in front of Albon, but Albon is slowly catching us. Try to keep some sort of battery in here. It's just so difficult.
Car behind is Albon.
When we go onto our new tires, I might have to go a lap and harvest, and then throw it back on, top up so that he doesn't spend too much. That's just, I mean, that's gonna really hurt our race. It's gonna significantly hurt our race. Oh, and so Award's gonna try to make the pass on Valtteri Bottas, and I think Bottas is gonna fight right back. And once again, Valtteri's got some. He has some battery, and so this is going to give us a disadvantage. Even though Award is trying to fight his hardest to stay in front of Valtteri, I don't think that's actually a good plan. Award, let Valtteri go by here. Let him be in front of the timing line. I think we're in front of the timing line. That's going to suck. And that might let Valtteri get too far out in front of us, and Albon might end up passing us because Albon has now caught us and passed us. There goes Albon. And we don't have DRS this time, and so that sucks. And so trying to stay in front of 18th with Award is now the game plan. Game plans change when crap breaks. I don't think that's a saying, but it might as well be. Game plans change when crap breaks. And so Award, with crap broken, is now going to have to come in. And we got a 2.4. Yes, we're getting better at pit stops, baby. We're getting better at pit stops. All right, so Award's now coming into the pits. Grosjean is doing a great job. He's starting to make up a little bit of time and starting to catch up to Gasly here a little bit as he has, as I have his ERS on. He has his battery on here. And so here comes Award. He's going to get out at a 2.693, not quite as fast as Grosjean. But Grosjean has a good battery, and so we're going to go ahead and just keep a little bit of battery in our back pocket. So I want to update you on a few things. Albon's been able to get past Grosjean, but here's kind of what's going on. is that Award can't. Grosjean's having trouble keeping heat in his tires. And with Harvest on, okay, so Harvest is on Award. He still can't keep charge. He still doesn't have enough charge for the front stretch. I mean, that's where we're at, is that with Harvest, he runs faster with Harvest on than with Harvest off. So this is as fast as he can go, and he actually might keep a little bit of charge this time. Let's see. He keeps 5% of charge, and so hopefully that helps us out. Sargent has hopped into the pits, and here comes Albon right past Award, and I expect Albon to drive off from him. I expect Bottas to probably drive up to him, to be honest with you. So right now, Hulkenberg is still in front of Grosjean, but he's about to get DRS off of Grosjean here. And Bottas officially has made the pass on Award. And here comes Hulkenberg on Grosjean. And there goes Hulkenberg right past Grosjean. So we're going to try to keep Grosjean in line with Hulkenberg the best that we can.
6 seconds.
Try to get a few DRS straights off of Hulkenberg to try to stay away from Zhou. All right, so our strategy of keeping up with Hulkenberg is working for us. And so Nico is still in front of us. We still have the battery on. We are pulling away from Sargent and Zhou a little bit. At least we were pulling away from Zhou. I don't know if Sargent's going to be faster than Zhou is. But we are keeping up enough to just barely get into his DRS almost every single time. And he, since we switched Award to top up, he has not been able to catch Award. He hasn't really been able to pull him in at all. And we're going to get a great run out of that turn. And we're going to look to maybe go down the inside of Nico. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to end up getting a great exit. And we're going to take Nico Hulkenberg. We're going to take that off at this point.
Excellent work.
And once again, not able to hold a charge for Award. So we're going to have to go back to the Harvest mode here. But we're going to cut the fuel on Grosjean to try to hold up Hulkenberg a little bit. I don't know if Nico has slowed down on his tires a little bit. Yeah, the crossover point, we probably have better tires than Nico. And he doesn't have a good DRS. So hopefully, Grosjean can stay in front, hold him up a little bit. So that he can't get after Award at all. So Hulkenberg is going to try to go down the inside a little bit here. He's going to take a terrible angle at that turn. And Grosjean's going to get away just a little bit, but Nico's going to use a little bit of battery there, it looked like. And now he's got DRS, and now he's going to zip right around Grosjean. And so once again, playing the game of keeping up with Nico. It's like that should be Nico's podcast. If Nico Hulkenberg decided to do a podcast, it should be called Keeping Up with Nico. You're welcome, Hulkenberg, if you're listening. He's not.
Do your best.
I mean, there are some people from Germany listening, but I seriously doubt Nico Hulkenberg is listening to some guy from America on podcasting. But that's what his podcast should be. And now Hulkenberg has really gotten aggressive here to start pushing and getting to Award. All right, so Nico Hulkenberg is now caught up to Award. And I think that Nico is probably going to take Award here. Unfortunately, I think Nico's going to take Award here, and there he goes. So Hulkenberg looks around the outside. Award, great exit, but Nico's got DRS, and Nico is also probably going to, if he has a little bit of battery, he's going to try to just take him right here and then just drive away from him. And I don't think that Award is going to be able to compete with that. And I think that's going to be the end of us seeing Hulkenberg for a little while. All right, so the back of the pack is now caught Romain Grosjean here. Some of these guys are, everybody's still got to pit probably at least one more time. But Kevin Magnussen looks like he's got some really good tires left on his car right now. But Grosjean's going to keep Sargent behind him for now. And we are about 6 laps away from pitting with Grosjean. We're a little bit closer with, there's a yellow flag. Award ran a little bit wide. It looks like we're 5 laps away from pitting with Award. All right, so Sargent is going to get a decent exit out of the final turn, and he's going to grab DRS off of Grosjean, and he's going to make this stick here this time, most likely. He slowed down pretty significantly in front of that corner, was not very aggressive, And he is going to move Grosjean aside. And now we're going to use a little bit of battery to try to keep up with Logan. Just to try to grab DRS off of him at least once or twice. Keep up with him. Keep up with Logan. Keep up with Logan. Come on, keep up with Logan. Oh, no. He's not going to keep up with Logan, is he? All right, so he's not going to be able to keep up with Logan, but I think Gasly's struggling enough that he's going to end up 21st or better. Grosjean and then K-Mag is probably going to go right by him. He's got way better tires than we do. He's in the 70s. We're at 52 at this point. And so here comes Kevin Magnussen, and Magnussen is going to get a run off of this turn in. DRS, his rear wing is open at this point. Ours was not, even though now we are close to Sargent. And I think he's just going to slot in right next to us. Although I think that Grosjean's going to take a look at down the inside. He absolutely does. He turns on his battery just a little bit, but K-Mag is able to get a little bit better of an exit. We look to go around the outside here, and it's not going to work out for us. We're going to cut off the battery here because we're close enough that we're going to grab a little bit of DRS, keep up with these guys through the home stretch here. Some more pit stops going on. Ward is continuing to drop back. He is now pretty far behind Magnussen. He's going to be pitting on the next lap after this lap, and then Grosjean's going to be pitting it in 2 laps. There is a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag, and a safety car has been deployed. So we're going to change Grosjean to go ahead and pit now. So he's going to pit now. And so is Ward. So we're going to double stack our guys. Albon is out. And I think and Verstappen is out. Oh, Albon and Verstappen have crashed each other. Oh, I missed the replay. But as he was trying to pass Albon, he got crashed out. Were we 1 lap behind? Both guys were not 1 lap behind. And so both guys are going to come in, and we're probably going to be in front of Hulkenberg and Joe because they're going to be 1 lap behind. And so this is really going to work out for us since we didn't quite get lapped yet. We are going to end up in front of Hulkenberg, Joe, and Gasly for a significant period of time. And so here comes Ward for his pit stop. Nice and fast, please. Nice and fast, please. Boom. Got him out with a 2.499. Not bad. Grosjean, nice and fast, please. Nice and fast. 2.483. That's beautiful. That's beautifully done, everybody. And so now we're going to go on our hard tires to the finish. So I didn't have quite enough time to kind of finish to fix that. But that should help us get more battery into Ward. And that should help Grosjean out as well. So let's see who we stay in front of and who we don't at the end of this. So with the safety car ending, the only person that was a lap behind, I guess, was Pierre Gasly. And so it looks like we're going to easily get 18th or better here. We are going to end up running aggressive. We're going to be able to fuel up a little bit. We're going to keep him on top up. He was never able to get anything. We had like 2 or 3 laps, and he just can't harvest. I mean, that's how bad his battery is at this point. We're going to go aggressive on Grosjean in the beginning, and then we're going to deploy. I think we're going to have to go aggressive on Ward and kind of hope that we get to the finish with being able to be attacking the rest of the time. So let's see what everybody else is on. Some people are on medium. Some people are on... K-Mag is on softs. Don't know if he's going to quite make it to the finish. There's already a yellow flag. What has happened already? We got a car off. Who spun already?
Yellow flag.
Who spun already?
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Joe spins right before the safety car ends. Joe spins. That's fantastic. Kick Sauber's got to kick him out, right? I mean, he's been bad. So bad. He's been so bad. That's amazing. All right. And so we've pretty much got 17th wrapped up because of Joe. And so now we are just trying to keep some people in front of Ward. I think he's going to cycle all the way back down to 17th, which means Grosjean's going to get the better finish. That's what I think is going to end up happening. We'll see here. But right now, Ward's able to keep up with Magnussen and Bottas.
Magnussen ahead.
As we've really significantly benefited from red flags and safety cars so far in COTA. All right, and so Logan Sargent's going to get a little bit of DRS off of O'Ward here just because O'Ward is really struggling. But here's the interesting part. It looks like McLaren is now 1-2, and a Red Bull is out and a Ferrari is out, so they're going to be able to make up on both of them. Not sure if McLaren is too far back to catch Ferrari without Leclerc going out too. But this should help them pull right back up to or even past Red Bull for second place in the constructors. And Sargent got by O'Ward. I'm gonna throw on for really quickly. O'Ward, don't fight your teammate. Let Grosjean by. Team orders, let Grosjean by here. As Grosjean's gonna get DRS off of O'Ward, and he's gonna let him go right by. Thank you. And we're just gonna keep don't fight teammate on. No, he fell behind O'Ward as well, Hulkenberg as well. So there we go. Just to let Grosjean get the better finish at this point. In development, Kevin Magnussen has now pulled into the pits, and so he is now behind O'Ward and Grosjean here. He does have 99. He does have a very fast soft tire on. I wonder if that would benefit us. I wonder if like pulling Grosjean in and putting on a soft tire would help. Or O'Ward. I'm not sure if I would get past Joe though. Not worth it. Not worth it. We'll keep our P15 and 16 and then see what Magnussen can do on those soft tires. More people are going into the pits and getting new tires. Logan Sargent is getting new tires, and so that's going to bump up Grosjean and O'Ward a little bit as well. Magnussen is significantly catching both of them. I don't think it's worth pitting at this point for us, but it is a little bit of an interesting strategy for these guys, especially Sargent. I don't know if Sargent's going to catch back up. We'll see. Magnussen has caught, within just about 3 laps, has caught O'Ward. And so O'Ward is now going to fall victim to Kevin Magnussen. Grosjean we have on deploy to try to get away from these guys. I don't know how well that's going to work, but he is going to deploy. I think O'Ward's probably going to end up behind Sargent again, and that's okay. But Grosjean, we're going to try to keep in front of Sargent the best that we can. All right, so here comes Kevin Magnussen on roaming Grosjean. We're going to use a little bit of battery to get away from him, and it looks like Grosjean is going to pull right back up, right back to the rear wing of Grosjean, but he's not going to be able to make the pass. So we're going to throw it on neutral and save a little bit of battery for the next straight. All right, and so here comes the Logan Sargent on roaming Grosjean. We did think this was going to happen, and it does. And so clean pass by Sargent, and that's going to kick us down to 16th and 17th. We are now on the final lap, and Piastri and Leclerc are battling it out. Perez is still falling, and he is at 25%, so we are on puncture watch for Perez right now. He's at 24. Danny Ricciardo, we'll see if Danny Rick can take Perez as well. Piastri might not have enough tire to compete with Leclerc. We will see, but Leclerc is still staying out in front. Piastri is going to get DRS off of Leclerc on the final DRS straight before the start-finish. And so here comes a Piastri. Piastri is going to grab DRS off of Charles Leclerc. Can Charles Leclerc stay in front of Oscar Piastri? Piastri is going to go and pull down to the inside. And here comes Oscar Piastri. He's going to try to take the inside of Leclerc. Leclerc looks like he still has position on Oscar Piastri. And Leclerc is able to stay in front of Oscar Piastri so far. This is a fantastic finish too. Coda. And it looks like Piastri is most likely going to come in second place unless Leclerc makes a mistake, runs wide, spins, or whatever it is. And as all that was happening, Perez drops even further. And so let's go ahead. Let's watch Oscar Piastri cross the line in second place behind Charles Leclerc. And it looks like Norris is going to bring home third. So there it is. Leclerc makes it and gets it first place. And now can Perez cross the line without any sort of puncture or anything like that? And I think he is going to be able to. And so Perez is going to be able to cross the line with 20% left. 20% left. So Perez is going to take 7th place, and that's going to shake up the Drivers' Championship a little bit. So it wasn't our day. It wasn't our day. Unfortunately, Award and Grosjean got 16th and 17th. Award had that trouble, mechanical issues. But Perez really shaking it up by not being able to finish well. And the McLarens are going to, they might be pulling right to the rear end of Red Bull on the constructor. So let's check out the driver standings. Carlos Sainz gets a little bit from the sprint race. Max technically makes up on him, but I do think that it is a one-horse race unless he keeps crashing. But Max Verstappen, if Max came in first, it would have made everything so much more interesting going into the final 5 races. The constructors, though, Ferrari, because of the great finish from Charles Leclerc, was able to get very good points from the weekend. But because of Red Bull's poor finishing, it looks like McLaren is now 1 point ahead of Red Bull for 2nd place. I'm not sure. I don't think they can, once again, don't think they can make up 25, 26 points on Ferrari without both of them crashing pretty much every single weekend. But McLaren can hold on to 2nd place above Red Bull. So we're going to be checking out this as it looks like Ferrari's going to run away with the constructors, and so is Sainz with the driver standings, unless he keeps crashing. But Max Verstappen has got to capitalize. Max Verstappen's got to capitalize on that. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Ben, and I am Baldman Gaming. And if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to interact with you guys in that comment section. And as always, peace out, and God bless.